So if we accept the Freudian model of cause and effect, then everything in your life, every choice you've ever made, your personality disposition, your favorite flavored ice cream, whether you have problems in your relationships or not, would come down to something from your formative years. It could be adolescence, but more typically it's childhood. And more typically the things that form and mold the structure of your personality in the Freudian model would be painful events from childhood. This is the Freudian focus on trauma. And I do think it is a very crucial part of the puzzle. But focusing on it doesn't lead to healing. It actually binds us in time, because you as an adult cannot go back in time and change anything without a time machine. So you're stuck in this model where you can't really change anything. You can only ameliorate the present because you are just at the effect of the past. One of the other problems is it keeps you stuck in cause and effect and asking why. This is not a good question to be asking, because you will come up with an answer. If you say, why do my relationships suck? You're going to come up with an answer which is a story rooted in trauma from the past of why your relationship stuck today. Why do I love, this, why is this my favorite flavor ice cream? Well, you're going to come up with a story that's rooted in the past, that's in the cause and effect model. Without a time machine, there's nothing you can do about your past, so there's really not that much you can do about your future. You just end up stuck in this loop of going over what happened, the story of what happened again and again, the vague hope that maybe by recounting and studying the story again and again, you'll magically become healed. You'll have this alchemical transubstantiation from trauma to higher consciousness. But the track record for it isn't great. As Nietzsche said, hope, in fact, is the greatest of all evils because it prolongs the suffering of men. So the idea that we would just go into a therapeutic context hoping that reliving the story again and again is going to heal us is actually, in some senses, a little bit ridiculous. So I want to give people another option outside of the Freudian time bind. I want to point them straight at the alchemical process of transubstantiating negative, painful, traumatic experiences to higher consciousness through using the power of their intent and their focus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to present to you right now a very simple solution to the Freudian time bind, to the this very complicated issue of the Freudian time bind. It's complicated because your brain likes it. The brain likes to ask why, likes to ask why questions, but your brain is a question answering machine. So when you ask why, you get an answer. When you think, well, what's the problem with that? When you ask sucky questions, you get sucky answers. So if you ask, why does my life suck? Your brain's going to list a load of reasons why it sucks. That traumatic Freudian way of looking at things in terms of cause and effect keeps us bound there. Why am I scared of getting on planes? Why do I have problems in my relationships? Why? And we just get a whole list of answers, and they're rooted in the past. They're rooted in trauma. They're rooted in things that you can't change right now. Here's a simple technique to get past that. Just set your intent for what you do want. So you're setting the intent, it's immediately present and future focused. It gives you an automatic alteration that returns the agency to you to a time and place where you can do something. Where's the time and place where you can do something? Where is the point of power in the timeline? It's only ever one time and one place. The only time and the only place that is real is here and now. If you set your intention for something, the unconscious will align and go, okay, boss, that's what we're going to do. So it becomes one of the simplest, not easy, but simplest ways of manifesting your will in the world. When you set your intent to do something, you begin the magical process. You actually set the wheels in motion slowly, but they are now in motion by setting the intent. By setting the intent, you directly bring yourself out of the frame of cause and effect. You are now the cause. You're no longer at the mercy of an ancient timeline. You're building new timelines in your own life. When you set your intent, something really profound and interesting happens to you psychologically. By setting the intent, you automatically and unconsciously, with no effort required whatsoever, start to change the content of what your consciousness focuses on from a moment-to-moment basis. Changing the content of what you're focusing on from a moment-to-moment basis is hard to do, but this allows you to find a shorthand way of just getting it done instantly. Whatever you focus on, you're going to get more of. Whatever you focus on is going to grow in strength and is going to appear more in your life. If you're focused on trauma, if you're focused on catastrophe, if you're focused on the past, you're going to get more past. You're going to get more trauma. You're going to get more catastrophe. If you're focused on narcissism, narcissism grows. You're actually feeding it with what? With the magical ingredients of time and attention. So when you have a stream of consciousness flowing through your mind, this has a huge impact on your physiological system, your hormonal system, and your emotions. Setting the intent aligns that focus so that you can be in congruence with what it is that you're looking to get done, not with that which you do not want. When you're in cause and effect in the Freudian bind, you're setting your mind, your stream of consciousness, to all of the things you don't want, all of the past, all of the trauma, all of the catastrophe and tragedy. That's what your mind is focused on. By setting the intent, now you clear the consciousness to focus on what has not yet come to be, pure potentiality. It's a very powerful tool. We are all, to an extent, riding the id. We're all, to an extent, working with our baser instincts, our wilder emotions, our drives, our desire to play, our desire to consume, our desire to experience pleasure, boundaryless, wild, open desire, the desire to, flout the law, to rebel. All of that is us riding the id. If we can ride the id skillfully, we can live a good life. If we deny the id, then it will just come back to possess us in less healthy ways. You have endured me speaking at great length about emotion and emotional literacy, and I believe that true alchemy, the true transubstantiation from base crude metal to a noble metal, from lead to gold, is actually in perception, and perception is guided by emotion. The best thing in life is to be vibrating at the frequency of love and appreciation and connection and gratitude. There is nothing higher than that. There is nothing better than that. That's where you're going to feel like the best version of yourself, and that's where you're going to feel like the best you. You're going to be you at your best in that state. How do we get there? Well, one of the great things about setting your intention, as I just said, is that it changes your focus. When you change your focus, you change the stream of consciousness running through your mind. So if you were in a no intent scenario, if you're in the Freudian cause and effect time bind, then you'd be saying, why does my life suck? Well, my life sucks and because I divorced my ex-wife. Why did I divorce my ex-wife? Well, the reason why I divorced her is because she was abusive. Why was she abusive? She was abusive because she had a bad childhood, and on and on and on. It's a study in history. It's a study in the dead, unchangeable past, because you're in a space where you have no power. All you can do is observe, and it does have value, but the value is to be understood now to be limited. The greater power, if you want to heal and move forward, should be in setting your intention, which automatically changes your focus, which changes the stream of consciousness. When the stream of consciousness is altered through setting the intention and the focus shifts, the videos that are playing in the mind are now fresh. They're now new. They're now positive. They're focused on what is now and what could be in the future. You're changing that stream of consciousness in your mind. You're cleaning it up. It's a dirty old stream full of brackish water and old leaves and old bits of monkey corpses. It's like, it smells. It doesn't smell good. It's dank. It's a nasty place, and it's running through your head every day. You're gonna have an emotional response to that. Imagine that stream being cleared up. It's bright, there's sunshine hitting it, the water is warm, it's clear, you can see it, the birds are singing, you're moving in a good direction, and suddenly everything is fresh and full of potential and full of newness and life. How do you feel there? Well, you would feel perhaps a degree of optimism. You'd feel perhaps a degree of enthusiasm. You would reclaim your agency, your serenity, your sense that, hey, maybe I can do something about this. Maybe I can rewrite what my future would have been by just saying, to hell with the past. what do I actually want now? What's my intention moving forward? Cleaning that stream of consciousness and then enjoying the cascade of good emotions that comes from that. Changing the emotional frequency is important. You can condition yourself to positive emotions. If you can learn to do a bad thing, you can damn sure learn to do a good thing just as easily. Transcending the negative emotions, moving into the positive emotions, that will become what your body wants to cycle through. It wants to cycle through feelings of hope for a positive future, feelings of enthusiasm, high levels of energy, cheerfulness, feeling good, feeling ambitious, moving forward and thriving. And you will.